I was born in North Carolina, but I don't have much memory of that because we moved to Brooklyn, New York. My first memories were in Brooklyn. I grew up with 5 sisters. We lived in a 2-bedroom apartment, all 7 of us. My whole life we had to just kind of share and just figure it out as we go, because there wasn't a lot to go around, but there was always enough. I went to college to study medicine. I wanted to be a doctor since I was 8 years old, the first doctor in the family. But I realized that after I graduated school that that's not what I want to do. I do love helping people, but just being in the medical field and experiencing patients have a lot of ailments that weren't medical, that it needed to be addressed before they even got to the hospital. So I decided to apply for AmeriCorps because the focus was social emotional learning, focusing on the emotional aspect of the human being. And recognizing the value in that. There's so much value in the emotional side of us that I think sometimes is not recognized. I'm serving with Community Bridges because it is an all-girls organization. It is a nonprofit in Silver Spring, and we serve girls at or below the poverty line in Montgomery County. So a lot of these girls, most of the girls are girls of color, mostly Latinx or Black girls, and they're living, most of them, below the poverty line. So some would call them disadvantaged or at risk, or there's many different terms for them. But for me, they're just a reflection of myself. There's different themes every month, but I think the main focus is just empowerment, just helping the girls to find their voice, whatever that means. So we've talked about identity, we've talked about self-esteem, we've talked about leadership, stereotypes. We also decided to incorporate a book series called Beyond Beautiful. Beyond Beautiful was created by Dr. Jasmine Zapata. She's a physician and a public health practitioner in Wisconsin. She noticed a lot of the things that I was noticing also when she was in the hospital, that a lot of young girls were coming in with issues that weren't necessarily medical, like anxiety, depression, suicidality. So she decided that it was her mission to kind of speak to young girls around the world. And the best way to do that was through a book, because that can reach so many girls. So she created Beyond Beautiful, which just reminds girls how powerful, how special, how beautiful they are on the inside. I had the honor of being a co-author on that book. She has 16 co-authors and I was one of them. And in that chapter, I tell my story, and we all just tell our stories of maybe a hardship that we had to overcome, and just words of encouragement for the young girls reading the book. I think I've learned so much this year, just being an AmeriCorps member, serving at Community Bridges, meeting like-minded people, people who just really want to serve their community. And I think the people I've met has had the most impact on me. Just seeing that there's so many of us who really just want to make the world better, more equitable, just give people opportunities. But I also say learning from the girls, just learning what they're going through, what's new in the world of youth, because things change so quickly. I was their age maybe 10 or so years ago, but things have changed so much. So just learning from them about what's going on in their world and what do they need to be successful. And I think as a young person, you can't always articulate that. But the way they interact with us, their responses, the trips they ask us to take them on, the topics they ask us to talk about, that really gives us insight into their life. Because we want to have everybody's quote represented. I found that the the best thing that anybody can be is themselves. And I think people tell you that all the time, just be yourself, you're an original, nobody is like you, but it's not easy to be yourself. I think we get caught up in like maybe who we're with, the opinions of other people.
Don't let anyone tell you what you can't do. You are your own best advocate. You know your hopes, dreams, and goals. Be vocal in sharing those and find the support you need to make it happen.
Being yourself will take you so far because nobody can take away who you are when you truly know yourself. So I'll just say to anyone out there listening, especially young people, be yourself and know yourself, and you'll be just fine. Thank you.